What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodgy with EOAlive Sports, and today I'm joined by EOU men's basketball head coach Chris Kemp. We're going to talk about the upcoming season. Coach Kemp, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Good. So let's touch a little bit on last year first. 500 record in the CCC, lost in the first game of the CCC tournament to LC State. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a tough year. We honestly had good buy-in from the start, but just never quite hit our potential. Lost a lot of close games early and felt like we never got our traction in the preseason. And then it kind of continued on. It was kind of a theme for us throughout the year to lose a lot of those close games and not finish well. So kind of looking for new ways to change that, but played everyone tough and honestly had a good group, but just never could get over the hump there, winning close games.
Yeah, it seems like there was a lot where we were up late and we just kind of let it dwindle.
Yeah.
I hate to use that word, but I mean it was kind of like a common occurrence last year.
Yeah, just our situational basketball was not very good. Just some key turnovers, key moments that we didn't play our best basketball, so it was tough. I think I learned a lot. I think we returned 9 guys, so I think we learned a lot from it, and excited to see how much different we can be this year.
So let's move into this year. We opened the season early November on the road, Carroll College, a team we beat last year, right? I think we talked that was our only non-con win last year.
Yeah.
What are you telling the guys moving into that game? I mean,
yeah, just speaking a lot about how hard that trip to Montana is and what those back-to-backs mean, and we seem to end up there a lot, and playing a team, on their home floor, and Carroll's going to have 3 games before they play us. They play Bushnell, OIT, and Arizona Christian. So, just trying to prepare the best we can to start and see if we can go win some tough road games. There's no better way to prepare for like a Cascade Conference schedule than to go some tough road games.
Yeah, for sure. What about like the mindset? Has anything changed? Like obviously you talked about like being prepared and coming finishing games, but is there anything else new in that department that you're trying to put into these guys' heads?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the preparation starting in the spring. And we've had our best spring since I've been here because we had the most returners. We had some continuity, and then just our leadership. This is the first time we returned 3 guys that are our captains, which is Garrett Hawks, Jaden Anson, and Malachi Afwork. So returning 3 captains gave us instant continuity in the spring, and just feels like we've been kind of hitting the ground running. The preparation that those guys have made and getting back healthy, as like Malachi missing the whole half of last year, Garrett his first year in the CCC, but being an all-conference guy, and then Jaden being healthy as he's ever been. So that's where I kind of lay our hat on. That's our foundation, is having those guys and that returning leadership, and we're just putting in the work, just worrying about the process, not the outcome. Yeah. Being process-oriented every day to us has been kind of our motto. We talk about it every single day, and the result doesn't define us. It's just going to be about our daily process.
What is this going to be, year 4?
Yep.
So 2 years as the interim and 2 years as the head coach.
Yep.
This is year 2 as the actual hired head coach. What's your goals for this year? Like when it comes to the CCC especially?
Yeah, we want to be right there at the top and think that we can compete with every team. And there's some teams that return, national tournament teams that return a lot.
Yeah.
But
CFI.
Yeah, and OIT
yeah.
who won some games. And so the top end is really heavy, but we want to be right up there competing with those guys every night and see where it ends up, because that's where we think we should be.
Talk a little bit about the new guys, like the people that you brought in the offseason.
Yeah, really excited. Just feeling like we got my type of guys that this group has just been so fun to coach. We got a Carroll transfer, Trent Rogers, who's a junior, who's played a lot of basketball, played a lot as a freshman. really think he can do a lot of things for us. Pretty athletic, can shoot it, can score the basketball. James Bodley is an Idaho State transfer, still 3 years to play, has good size, really shoots it. Ryan Looney kind of, with the Eastern connection, helped us get him. He's from small town Idaho, but we think can make an impact right away. We're going to redshirt a few freshmen, and then Logan Orchard from Coeur d'Alene will play as a freshman. And we're real excited about that group of transfers. And then TJ Doman's a one-year guy from Alaska Fairbanks. He's from Oregon, real versatile, 6'4", 6'9" wingspan. We think he's going to do a lot of good things for us too. We're real excited. Just the experience. He was an all-conference guy in the NWAC, was on like a Final Four team in there. Went to a D2. The coach was let go, so that's how we ended up with him here back in Oregon. And an older guy who has a ton of college experience that we're going to really lean on.
You said he's from Oregon?
Yeah, from Woodburn.
Oh, okay. So he's not related
So he grew up in Woodburn.
He's not related to Courtney Doman.
No.
The basketball player from Crane, I think.
No,
is that right?
Not
Crane?
that Yeah.
Anyways, so the CCC this year, it's obviously, we said, OIT, C of I at the top of the pack. I mean, the rankings, the coaches poll has already come out. Mm-hmm. C of I number 1, OIT. We finished what, 6th?
Yep.
6th, I believe. Do you think that's a fair prediction?
Yeah, I think so. After where we ended last year, a lot of it is based on that.
Yeah.
And where we think we can be is different. But no one cares where you start. Last year we were picked 2nd preseason. And it's not like we felt any better where we finished. So, right. So really it's all about how we play the games and about that process each day. So I think it was fair. I think that those top teams are pretty solidified. And after that, there's a lot of unknowns.
What's been the hardest thing for you so far in your year 4? What's been the hardest thing,
man,
as head coach?
I don't know. I love my job. I have it pretty good. I think maybe just try not to be defined by those wins and losses, in whether that be in my personal life, professional life, and just in my own mind being, being about that process and getting guys better in the relationships and getting the right people around us. And so that's been a learning curve in just how to be detail oriented with all of that. And not be defined by how things come out in the wins and losses, but be about that process. And so I've learned a lot through that. And but again, I can't complain. I got it pretty good.
That's probably one of the hardest things in athletics at any level, is to not be defined by wins and losses.
Yeah, 100%.
Getting over that hump of like, you know what? When it all boils down, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it really doesn't.
Yeah, you just got to do the work each day and trust the process, like I keep saying, but really, not let that affect me and my personal life and with my family and all that. So,
right. Yeah, you don't go to you don't want to walk in Walmart and have people see you and be like, oh yeah, there's that 11-11 coach from the CCC. Like,
they can. That's okay.
And that doesn't happen. I mean, I don't think anyway. And if it is happening, that person needs to get a life for real. What about your greatest accomplishment so far? What do you feel like in the 3 years of full years?
I don't know. I don't look back much yet. I'm really forward looking, but I think just the relationships that I've made, some of the guys that we've had here, and some of the high level players that we got here right away, early in the process. But honestly, it's just more about those guys and graduating guys and building relationships. I mean, being able to bring 10 guys back for the alumni game that I coached, either as an assistant or a head coach, was exciting. We're starting to get that young group that I still have relationships with, and Max McCullough being back and just
first time playing basketball since his injury.
Yeah. So he's been working out, just now basketball, but It was just fun to see him. And those relationships is maybe what I'm most proud of, and those long lasting guys that I hope to know the rest of my life.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance for really special connections, like as a head coach and players. So one of the things that I always say, and this is across all sports, and I've never experienced it myself because I've never coached at that level, I've coached at the high school level, middle school, but I'm not a fan of bringing back players as coaches.
Oh,
No, I really am not, and I'll tell you why. The main reason why is because, and I want your response to this. This is why I'm asking you. The main reason why is because I don't feel like ex-players can hold a coach that they played for accountable enough. What do you think about that?
yeah, I could see that being an issue. Are you saying when us?
I'm just talking
individually, or-
general. I mean, I know you have an ex-player coaching, and at the NAIA level, it has to happen. I know that because of you can't go hire you can't go hire assistant coaches. You have to bring back guys as GAs or whatever. But I still always have this feeling like across all sports, like there's just not the accountability needed. Now, your situation's a little bit different because you have an assistant coach, right? Mm-hmm. You have an assistant coach that did not play here, that didn't play for you. So it's a little bit different. But what's your take on that?
Yeah, so I can only speak to what we're doing individually with Preston Chandler back as a grad assistant, and that would be something we'd talk through. Can he be honest with me still off the court? Holding me accountable hasn't necessarily come up, but I would say the biggest shift for him has been with the players.
Oh, 100%.
And that, especially as you have a guy that's 1 year out and has played with guys and kind of grew up with guys, I think that's been something that we've had to speak through and have that paradigm shift. Can he hold players accountable? Can he, can he have what my vision is at first over his friends that are players? And so that's something that we've worked through and we've had many conversations about. And so it's not perfect, but honestly, that's what we see that grad assistant spot as is a learning position, doing what he needs to do to help the program, but also to learn. So that's and Preston and I have a special relationship because we had to go through that as me going from the assistant to the head coach.
Right, a role change there.
Yeah, and we felt something similar to that, and we're close, and we've gone through a lot, and just the time that we spent going through with the former coach and all the things we went through has kind of prepared us to be able to be honest with each other, and so I'm just happy to have them, and again, it's not perfect.
I like that answer though. I guess I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not anti it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because there's just so many things involved. And like I said, I understand it, but that's going to be the question that I ask every coach this year because I've thought a lot about it in the last couple of years. It's like I see pretty much every sport at EOU does it. I mean, you have either grad assistants or even the assistant coach, sometimes the head coach. You know what I mean? Like a couple years out. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you touched on, the coaching players that you played with. That's a whole different can of worms. And that's tough. But it is a good learning experience, like you said. I more I always feel like part of an assistant coach's job is to keep the head coach in check because there's nobody else to do it. Right? I mean, the athletic director, whatever, she's not there day to day. She's not in practice. She's not hearing everything that goes on. The people that are the assistant coaches, and they're the ones that have to be willing to say, hey, you know what? You screwed up here. Or, hey, you know what? You did a great job here. Or, hey, and you have to have that open communication. Otherwise, you can't grow as a head coach in my eyes.
I mean, I agree 100%. I don't look at it as necessarily holding me accountable, but just being honest. If they can't be honest with you and show you where, hey, I think that you are screwing up, I think you need to do this, and us talk about it and be able to be honest. If I can't be honest with myself and have those conversations, we're in a bad spot. So that is something that we need as coaches, is just honesty from our assistants, and knowing that they're all in, they're pulling in the right direction, but they can still be honest.
I'm going to start using that word instead of accountable now, honest, because in all reality, the only person that can hold you accountable is the person that can fire you. So that's the athletic director. So honest is a better word, and I like that. And I think that's so important in college athletics, especially, I mean, you're all adults. We're not playing with kids no more. No. You know what I mean? And if trust is broken, you've seen it firsthand. You've seen it firsthand. And we don't have to talk about it, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
And it can destroy a program that fast. Bam. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like something that I think about a lot, because I care about, EOU athletics, and I want to see people succeed, and not just on the court, but overall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's end it with this. So this team this year, we're going to tip off, November 8th in Helena?
Yep, except for our exhibition on Saturday, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, who are we playing on this
Seattle
Saturday?
Mountaineers, a semi-pro team with a bunch of former college players, is coming here on Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yep.
The Mountaineers versus the Mountaineers.
Yeah, it's the Battle of the Mountaineers. Yeah, who's the real Mountaineers?
So now I'm forced to have to get this out this week. I will. But so that game on Saturday, what time's that at?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock p.m., Quinn. And that's just an exhibition game?
Yeah, so it doesn't count on our win-loss, but we wanted to get something real in before we go to Montana. So it gives us a chance to work some stuff out. And yesterday was our 30th practice. We want to see someone else. These guys have been beating on each other a lot. So to get something real that doesn't necessarily count, but we'll treat it as a true game and go through our process a little bit and kind of have some film to analyze. And we won't be streaming it, so you got to come see it live, because we don't have to, and we want to kind of protect all that before we go to Montana.
So what you're saying is I should show up with a phone and live stream it for other teams to get a little idea of what, you see, call Carol and be like, hey, how much you pay me if I get a little video going here? Okay, well, then we'll back it up to that game. Before that game, to start the season, essentially, what are you telling the guys? Like, what do you? How are you going to voice your expectations? Like, what are you going to say to them?
I think I've talked a lot about it, but it's just for us all about the process, and getting better each day. Win or loss, we got to get better each day. If we win by 30, that doesn't matter. We got to still get better, and it's about our habits. What's our habits look like? How detailed are we? And then next, it just kind of felt like issues last year for us in game, because honestly, we had great buy-in, even on a team that was struggling. We had great buy-in throughout the year, but in game, kind of letting issues or mistakes snowball. So our motto is has been done next. Like, okay, it's good or bad, it's done, and we're on to the next. So if great things happen, great, that's fine, but we're still on to the next. We can't live in it. So that, I think, all encompasses being part of the process and being detailed oriented, getting the right habits. So when we play this team that's, some older guys that are thrown together but are talented players, we still don't want bad habits no matter what the score is. We want to be focused on what we're doing each possession, and that's been the message. And it's going to be the same when we go to Montana. And, I'm excited about our non-conference, because we have 6 NAI games that are all
tough teams.
Tough but winnable, and in some different neutral environments. One home environment against a national tournament team, Florida College, and so I'm excited about the balance, kind of that balance of it, but seeing what we can do to build into the Cascade Conference schedule.
Nice. Eastern Oregon, I'm Dodsey. He's EOU men's basketball head coach, Chris Kemp. I appreciate you, Kemp.
Thanks, Dodsey.
Today I am joined by EOU men's basketball. He's a grad student, actually. Brennan Newsome. Brennan, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So let's start with how'd you end up at EOU?
Kind of funny story, though. I was transferring from some lame college in this conference, and I was not really liking the options I was getting. So I reached out to Kemp over email, and he actually didn't respond back to me. But I heard that he talked to my coach, so I kind of made like a lie. Like, I emailed him back saying that I was going to be in Wallowa like visiting family, even though I wasn't. So like I was like, you might as well let me come on campus and like see the campus just in case if you're interested. And he ended up letting me come on campus, and
That sounds like an intricate plan.
and he gave me an offer like 2 weeks later, and I accepted.
It's all business after that. What?
Yep.
So wait, you played 4 years at LC State. Redshirted one of those years. One of the years was a COVID year.
Yep.
And then, so did you transfer here for grad school, or were you were already done? You graduated.
Yeah,
at
I
LC
graduated from LC
State?
State.
You just had eligibility.
I still had eligibility, so I was able to transfer within conference as long as for post grad.
Right.
So if you graduate, you don't have to sit out a year. So I graduated, and now I'm doing my master's.
So, I mean, and you don't have to answer this, but why'd you leave LC State? Like, why didn't you just stay there?
I want something different.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when you play for the same program, especially for like 5-6 years, I feel like you're kind of like stuck in a little bit of a box.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing every day. Your role never really changes. Nothing really changes. You wake up and see the same stuff. So transferring kind of came to my mind when I graduated because I wanted something new. And coming to Eastern, I knew they had the degree I wanted to chase for, my master's, and new opportunities. So I decided.
So what's your bachelor's in?
Business administration.
And then what are you doing here?
Healthcare administration.
Healthcare administration. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a hospital administrator or like a data analyst, start out, something like that within a hospital.
Like you want to be like the boss at the hospital?
Yeah, I don't want. I wanted to be a nurse originally, but I did not do good in my prereqs. So I decided to go to business, and then I found out about healthcare administration, and I was like, well, that's like the best of both worlds. So I kind of wanted to still work in a hospital, but not be a doctor.
Right. When you were thinking about being a nurse, that you have to remember a lot of things.
Yeah,
I know. Like when I was in school, A&P was. I'm pretty smart. I'm not bragging on myself, but I'm like math. You put a math problem in front of me, I'm probably gonna get it. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me to remember body parts and stuff, no way. Yeah. Like I mean, some people's brains just don't work like that. Mm-hmm. Where'd you struggle with it?
Chemistry. I was my first lab, and it was chem. And first like 3 weeks, I was like, yeah, this is not for me. And I already missed the deadline to drop the class, so I was just struggling all term. Just lost. Constantly just can't. I couldn't remember any of the chemical compounds. I struggled with every lab, and they told me that if you can't do chemistry, you're not going to be a nurse. And I was like, all right, well, I guess this is where my career ends already. I didn't even get in the program yet.
Right.
So yeah.
So you just said right there, I still want to be involved in healthcare, like taking care of people. Yeah. And as an administrator would be the way to go.
It's kind of like the other side of working at a hospital. So I thought that would be a lot of fun. And learning business was great. So I loved learning about like just general business. So I decided that would probably be the path I want to take.
So let's talk a little bit about this year. We have 9 returners from last year. What's the team goals, and then what are your personal goals?
I would say our team goals haven't changed from last year. Last year, our goals was to, win the CCC and to go to the national tournament, and like especially go to the like final site, go see Kansas City. I mean, our goals have like stayed consistent even through like the ups and downs of last year, and I feel like this year it's really obtainable. And my own personal goals, I feel like it's just me trying to be more of a leader. I'm not really super vocal, so I kind of want to be more vocal.
I noticed that.
Yeah. I want to be more vocal on the court and just kind of like, no matter what role I get put into, I want to like do 110% for it and just help the team any way I can do to win.
As a kid, did you play other sports?
I did a lot of other sports.
What sports did you play?
I did crew, so rowing for a long time. Actually, I say a long time because I didn't play basketball until my freshman year of high school. But I did rowing for 2 years. I did soccer. I played a little bit of football. I played tennis a little bit. Like I just kind of like dabbled in every other sport, and then I eventually found basketball.
In high school, did you just play basketball?
Yeah.
Do you regret that, like not playing other sports in high school?
I just feel like I didn't have the time because I played in Sacramento. So it was like when I played at Sheldon, you pick kind of like one sport and that takes all your time. I had 2 practices a day. One was like team practice, the other one was like trainings. And then with a school day on top of that, you get home late already. Then your games, all that stuff. And like we play during the summer, spring, like it's all year round at that school. So it was tough for me to play any other sport. So I decided to stick with one, put all my eggs in one basket.
When you're like just watching sports on TV, what's your favorite sport to watch?
Soccer.
Soccer?
Women's soccer specifically, yeah. Because my sister played soccer. She played at UC Irvine, so I loved watching soccer.
I'm getting more interested. It's taken me some time. I used to feel like it was slow, but now that I'm starting to understand like the offense and defensive end of like, how you have to how it flows, I'm starting to like it more, but it's never really been my favorite. I like watching EOU, just because the energy, like there's a lot of energy on that EOU women's soccer team.
Yeah,
you can feel it, like, and that's what I like taking pictures. That's what I do for my hobby, and I feed off of energy when I'm taking pictures, believe it or not. Like, I can feel it, you know what I mean? Like, if a team has a lot of good energy, it makes taking pictures so much easier, dude.
Yeah.
It really does. What about you, like, in your, like, personal life, do you, if you could pick a superpower, what would you take? What power would you want?
I would say like the Flash's powers, like super speed, but like specifically what the Flash could do. Like he's able to time travel because he runs so fast.
Yeah.
He can basically fly because if you fly off anything, you run so fast that you kind of run on the air molecules.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. Like so, basically super speed.
Yeah, Flash. What about a superhero? If you could be a superhero,
The Flash.
The Flash. See, I'm taking superpower for me. Teleportation all day. I don't like being in the air. I don't like flying, but I think the amount of resources and time you could save if you could just teleport
places. That's
dude,
what it.
I mean, I could snap my fingers and be in Australia or Fiji or wherever I want to be.
See, that's why I want to be the Flash. You can go anywhere you want, super quick.
It would be so awesome. One day, I'll bet you one day it's not going to be in our time, but one day there's going to be something similar. It won't be like teleportation, obviously, but there's going to be a way to get from point A to point B extremely fast, I think, anyways. What about this year's team compared to last year's team? What's different?
I'll say what's different is like our chemistry, our team chemistry. I feel like last year it was a lot of new guys. So it was all of us trying to figure out how to play together.
Yeah.
We were all new, especially like the starting.
A lot of old new guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't say old like old, but you know what I mean? Guys that had played other places all coming together, Johnny, you, Garrett, like all these people that have been playing college basketball before.
Yeah.
Come to,
a new program and trying to like change all their habits to mesh with others that are from a different program. So I feel like this year, because we have a lot of returners, and like, especially like with just not even like the returners, like even our new guys, like they all bought in a lot to like what we are trying to build.
Yeah.
So I feel like our team chemistry is a lot better this year than last year, and I feel like the sky's the limit for us this year.
I like to hear that. I mean, if you truly believe it, I mean, that's a good place to be. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I'll eat it if it's there, but I would not order it myself.
Right, I won't eat it.
Yeah.
I don't like it hot. I love pineapple. I just don't like it hot. What about your food wise? What's your favorite food? What are you getting from mom or whatever? It could be from a restaurant, whatever.
I will say pasta, but like specifically like raviolis. I love raviolis.
Like with red sauce?
Yeah,
Red
or
sauce,
white sauce. I just like my family used to own a ravioli company back in Jackson, California.
A ravioli company?
Yeah, Vince Aguirre Raviolis.
Really?
It recently got under new management, changed the name.
Yeah.
But for years it was there, and I loved their raviolis so much.
You grew up with a family in a family that owned a ravioli.
Yeah.
There's a first for everything on this show.
Hey, it was highly successful there.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I bet you've eaten a lot of raviolis.
Yes, every family gathering there was raviolis.
I'm sure.
And I loved it.
And that's still your favorite.
Still to this day.
Ravioli. Do you have, so since it's changed ownership and management and name, do you have any of the old left still?
No, I don't. My mom might have
Yeah.
some because it's pretty recent as they switched management.
Okay.
But my mom will still buy from that same place because it uses the same press,
recipe? Okay.
very similar recipes. So it's
So you can still
Yeah.
go back and touch on.
They're still carrying that tradition the same way. Like they have like this press that's like the only one I think in the United States. Like it's the old school giant stone rotating press, like for the
I'm
raviolis.
gonna have to look this place up.
Yeah, look it up.
That's kind of cool.
It's in Jackson, California.
And you grew up. Did you ever work there?
No,
No, you just had your family just.
no, I went and bought them. I didn't go.
It's definitely the first time somebody on my show's favorite food is raviolis. Too.
I love raviolis.
Like when I think raviolis in my head, I think like the can, like which are
No,
terrible.
not Chef Boyardee or whatever.
It's so bad.
No.
It's
I'm
so
talking about
bad.
homemade raviolis.
Yeah, which is way different.
Way
right?
better.
So we'll get a couple more questions and then I'll get you out of here. As for like you, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Like
10
what are you
years.
doing? Yeah.
I would see myself like professionally, like in my career. I would say like having like a good foundation built and like kind of like working within a company that I love. Personally, married, have some kids.
Yeah.
Having a nice house. I'm hoping to move back like closer to home, just so I'm around family more.
California,
Yeah.
Central California.
Yeah, like Sacramento area, somewhere around there. But just kind of have like my path and like my life kind of like not like planned out because that's a horrible way to live your life, but kind of like have an idea of where the direction's
just
going.
the direction. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. If you could choose one or the other, the beach or the mountains?
Beach.
Yeah, 100%
Yeah.
for me. I love the mountains. Don't get
I
me
do too.
wrong.
Like,
But
I go
hey,
hiking all the time and I love it.
there's a lot of people don't realize how different the beach here is though than it is in California, like
Yeah.
Southern California especially. Here's cold. That water's
Yeah.
cold. You get in the water down there, it's nice. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
You can't swim in the Oregon coast really unless you have like a wetsuit. Unless you have a
swam in it.
Oh, okay.
But
Tough guy.
it's well, no, I really have. And I've had to jump in. My 2-year-old son jumped in the bay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
at
do that.
Newport, and I went in. But I've actually gone in the water, and it is too cold to swim in.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
can't
doubt.
do it.
Down there though, you can just swim.
Oh yeah, it's like sometimes it's like beach water in the summer.
It's
or not
very
beach water,
nice.
bath water.
water. Yeah, for sure. What about if you could choose one or the other? Prison for 5 years or a coma for 10?
Coma for 10.
You really?
Because I think that
The label?
because I probably wouldn't feel like it was like 10 years because like you're asleep.
Yeah, but you'd miss out on 10 years of everybody else's life.
Well, I'm gonna be 5 years in. I won't survive in prison. I mean, so it's like 5 years to death or 10 years in a coma. So I think I'm taking the 10 years in a coma.
I would take the prison, but I would also not like the label that would be put on you. You know, like
You're a prisoner. You were arrested for the rest of your life.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with the 10 years in a coma is you miss out on everything for 10 years, and your body would just be skin.
Yeah.
You'd atrophy so bad.
But it's either like I'd be like in my eyes, it's like, do I die in 5 years or am I living and it's coming like later in 10 years?
I would say in prison I could better myself too. Like I could
That's
get
true.
a degree or whatever.
Oh, I'd live on that
do
basketball
school.
court.
Yeah, you could work out. You could,
I'd come back so
you
buff.
wouldn't be. You definitely wouldn't atrophy. But if you wouldn't make it through prison, they're
Exactly. I don't know.
Let's end it on this one. Or actually, one more. So, last song that you listened to on your phone, on your playlist.
What did I listen to? I got "Scared Love" by Rod Wave.
Okay, that's on the new album.
Yeah, the new album.
That's a good song.
Nice.
And then finally, we'll pretend like I'm a senior in high school. Okay. Coach Kemp says, "Brennan, get Dodsey to come play basketball at EOU." What are you telling me?
I'll tell him, like, if he really loves basketball, this would be the place for him. This is a place where we, like, live, eat, and just breathe basketball. You come here, and it's a small town, tight-knit community where people are hugely supportive of you, and at the same time, like, your teammates are supportive of you, and we're all here trying to chase the same dream. If you have the dream of trying to play basketball, and, like, if you want to play basketball after college, like, this is a place where you could do it, because here you could better yourself. But, like, we're not going to make you play basketball and, like, train and all that. We're not going to make you do it, but here we have all the resources where if you want to achieve a dream, you can.
Nice. Eastern Oregon. He's EOU men's basketball, Brennan Newsome. I'm Dodzy. Brennan, I appreciate you. Thank you. Today I'm joined by EOU men's basketball's TJ Doman. TJ, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So let's start it off how I like to start off all the interviews. How'd you end up at EOU?
How did I end up at EOU? Yeah. So I started my journey off playing basketball at Clackamas Community College.
CCC.
Got 2 years there, and then got recruited to play at Alaska Fairbanks. So then I went there for my junior year. After the season ended, they just had a change of coaching staff, so decided to test the transfer portal, enter the portal, got in contact with Coach Kemp, and then came out here.
Ended up here.
And I'm super glad that I came.
What was it different? Was Alaska Fairbanks different? Like, was it a culture?
Fairbanks itself is actually pretty similar to LeGrand. It's like small town, cold.
Yeah.
It's a lot colder there, but still cold. Small town, but I would say Alaska in general is actually kind of similar to Oregon.
Yeah.
Just smaller towns and
outdoorsy,
friendly people.
Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Woodburn, Oregon. About 4 hours from here.
Where the outlet malls are.
Where the Woodburn Outlet Mall is.
Yeah.
Yep.
What other sports you play?
So I played football
in
high school. I played baseball for 1 year.
Yeah.
But mostly stuck to basketball.
Basketball's your game.
Basketball is my game, yeah.
When it comes to the basketball, who do you like to emulate? Who's your dude?
Who do I like, or who do I like to emulate?
Emulate, yeah.
Emulate.
Who do you like to play, your style?
My style. I've always been compared to Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
Just because he's like the slow motion, kind of deciding where to go. But I like, my favorite player is Damian Lillard, growing up a Blazers fan. Yeah. So, I wish
I'm an Iverson dude.
Iverson,
yeah.
Okay.
Iverson, and then probably Shaq would probably be number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like the way Iverson influenced the culture of basketball and just his grit, like, in his determination.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard has a lot of the same characteristics as Iverson, actually.
Yeah, just like a fearless point guard.
Yeah, just going after
going at it.
Yeah. And obviously I played wing and post in high school, so I always thought it was, point guard and guards would be cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. So as far as this basketball team this year, EOU, it's your first year. What's your guys' team goals? What are you trying to accomplish?
First and foremost, I think we just want to win, the CCC title. We want to get to the playoffs, win a championship. I think it's very doable, especially with the guys that we brought in and the guys that are returning. I think we definitely are running a style of offense where it's more towards just, running the floor, trying to get some shots up, but also play hard defense.
Yeah.
I think it's doable for us.
What about your personal goals? Like, everybody has. A lot of people don't like to talk about them, but everybody has personal goals.
Personal goals.
Yeah.
I would just say, personally, I like to win. So if I win a basketball game, that's what I'm going for, and doing whatever it takes. Whether it's scoring, whether it's getting rebounds, playing defense that night, or getting somebody the ball that's hot that night, I'll do whatever I can to just win the game for us.
Yeah, I'm similar in athletics. Is like, I do not like losing.
Yeah,
it's not a good feeling ever.
Not at all.
For you personally, what are you going to school for?
So my degree is interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
I'm doing a minor in business, and then my other minor is called like an individualized plan in pre-perfusion. So
you're gonna have to explain. That's a new one.
So it's like a cardiovascular perfusion school.
Okay.
You go to like a 1 to 2 year school, learn about the heart, pathway of the blood and everything, and you become a perfusionist where you work in the operating room and you monitor heart-lung machine when somebody's in surgery.
Interesting. What got you interested in that?
I had a friend growing up that did it, and now my brother-in-law just became one a couple years ago, and so I kind of just piqued my interest a little more, and I decided to go with it.
Interesting. Like, once you're done with school, you're obviously gonna go. Is there more school after? Do you have to have a master's or?
Yeah, so you do your bachelor's and whatever you do, and you just have to have like prereqs, like some kind of classes to do. So that's what my minor's in. And
then like pharmacy school. It's
I have to do like a few biology classes. So then I go to perfusionist school.
Okay.
Whether that's at like University of Utah is what I've been looking at, or there's a few in like Nebraska or East Coast.
Yeah. So it's very similar to pharmacology. Like, you have to have prerequisites to get into the pharmacy school. Okay. Most people, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a bachelor's. You just have to have all the credits that are on the list to get in. Similar?
Okay. Sounds similar, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. What about your hero? Who's your hero?
Who's my hero?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great question. Probably, can I say 2 people?
Of course.
I would just say my parents, you know, always looked out for me, taught me, you know, to be a good person, taught me to, you know, respect others, you know, brought me my faith in life. So, say my parents.
What's your favorite thing about the Valley so far? Like, you've only been here, what?
Like 2 months.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Eastern Oregon?
About Eastern Oregon? I mean, the outdoors, definitely. My wife, I'm here with my wife. So my wife, she grew up in Nampa, Idaho.
Oh yeah, no.
So she feels like she's at home here, close to her family. So just being here, I mean, it feels like I'm at home already.
Did you meet her in school?
Yeah.
At Fairbanks?
So I met her during COVID. Yeah. I did 1 semester at BYU, Idaho.
Oh, nice.
As an online student.
Man, you've been all over,
yeah,
huh?
So I've been everywhere.
You've been all over. What about if you could have a superpower? Any superpower, you get to choose it. What are you taking?
I would probably teleport.
That's me, 100%.
I mean, you could get away. I'm not get away, but you could go anywhere.
Anywhere you want, yeah. And you don't have to be up in the air. I don't like heights.
You don't have to go to the airport.
You don't have to waste resources.
Drive.
Teleporting would be mine, 100%. What about if you could be a superhero? Like, which superhero would you want to be?
Probably like Iron Man or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty.
Why?
Cool.
Because he's got all the cool stuff.
Cool gadgets. I mean, he's funny.
Yeah.
Billionaire. Yeah. But you know, got the cool stuff to go with.
He's got it going pretty good.
Everybody likes him, kind of. So.
So locker room or in practice? What's the funniest thing that you've heard Coach Kemp say so far?
Oh man.
Rack your brain.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
Because he's a little goofy.
For me, the funny thing he always says, you can do anything for, and then he'll say a time, you know, we're running sprints, it's like 5 minutes. Oh, you can do anything for 5 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
That one always gets me because anything we're doing that's, you know, kind of hard or something, he's like, oh, you can do anything for 1 minute or 2 minutes. And then as players, we kind of say that for everything now.
Yeah.
That we're doing. It's kind of like an inside joke. So
you're breathing. You can do anything.
You can do anything for 1 minute. You know. Probably that.
I've heard him say that before, actually.
Actually?
Yeah, come to think of it.
That's one I haven't heard, then just kind of we like, so.
Yeah.
I would say that one.
What about for you, the beach or the mountains? What would you prefer?
Oh. Beach or mountains? I would probably first say mountains, just because I like the mountains more, but
yeah.
I grew up in Woodburn and I went to the beach quite often.
Yeah, I used to live in Dallas, I told you.
And Dallas. And I do like the Oregon coast. It's kind
gorgeous.
Of the cloudy, windy, I actually kind of like that, so I don't know.
I love the Oregon coast too. Not for the water by any means.
Not for the water,
but just the aesthetic.
The scenery and
it's beautiful there. It really is. You got everything from like Cape Perpetua to Thor's Well.
Yeah.
You got the Devil's Punch Bowl. I mean, just cool stuff.
The Pacific City Sandhill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been up it a few times with my kids. Yeah. What about pineapple on pizza?
No.
No? Is it a hard no or?
Hard, no. My wife loves it, but I hate it. Yeah, no.
I don't like it either.
Can't do that sweet.
No, I just don't like I like pineapple. I don't like it hot. I don't like it warm. It's not. I don't think it's meant to be warm. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food, I would probably just do steak, mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
A1 sauce.
You're gonna ruin a steak with
A lot of
A1 sauce?
It's the best sauce.
A1 sauce?
A1.
I don't put anything on my steak, just salt and pepper, man.
Salt and pepper?
Yeah. My grandmother, she used to take, she'd go to a restaurant, she'd order a expensive filet, and that's a pretty expensive steak.
Yeah.
And she'd have them burn it, okay?
Ooh, okay.
Well done.
Well done.
And then she would, if they didn't have Heinz ketchup, she wouldn't eat.
What?
Yeah. Heinz ketchup. Yeah, she was that picky. Yeah.
Ketchup. Heinz ketchup.
Heinz
on the
ketchup,
steak.
yeah,
On
crazy,
the burnt
you know.
steak.
What about basketball-wise? This journey for you. So you graduated in 2017. We talked about off camera.
2017.
How's your game changed since 8 years or
Yeah,
7 years?
In high school, I feel like I definitely was a late bloomer. I kind of just shot threes, didn't really drive in much. And then going on a mission, coming back, I got a little stronger, more mature, and then just got more athletic, was able to drive in more, play a little bit bigger down low, even being not as tall. That just developed my game more to just playing more as a driver, I feel like right now. And then,
What's the one thing that you pride yourself on, one part of your game that you really say, man, I'm really proud that I do this really well?
personally, I would say just defense and getting my hands on as many deflections and balls as I can. I feel like I actually like doing that, and I enjoy playing defense. Enjoy getting a stop for us.
Yeah,
So
not
I would say-
everybody enjoys playing defense.
I would say that just getting a steal or getting a block or tipping a pass or something.
I love that. That was my favorite part of basketball.
Really?
Defense. Yeah, in the post. Oh yeah.
Oh, in the post.
I love playing defense.
Maybe not in the post.
Yeah,
itself,
well, you're a guard though,
but
right?
Yeah,
Or a wing.
yeah, wing forward. So
Yeah, but I loved playing defense in the post, man. Just that, as you know, we talked about off camera as well. The game's changed a little bit between when I was in high school and when you're in high school. It was more of a big man's game back then.
Yeah.
There was a lot more posting up, and so if you could play defense in the post, you were a valuable
on
asset
the
to
floor.
your team.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
What about where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
10 years from now. So in 10 years, I would want to see myself, I guess, as a perfusionist,
Yeah.
finish with school,
Where are you gonna live?
wherever I get a job.
Yeah.
I guess
Open. Huh?
open to wherever I get paid to go with my wife. Plan to have maybe a couple kids by then.
Yeah.
So
And just living the American dream.
living my American dream.
When you went on your mission, where'd you go?
So I served my mission in Argentina, in
South America. So
South
you speak
America.
Spanish?
Buenos Aires. Yeah,
Nice. Did you know it before you went?
yeah, I did.
You took it in high school?
I took a bilingual program from kinder to 12th grade growing up.
Nice. I learned Spanish from school, but also I went to college down in Southern California. I grew up down there too.
Okay.
And I worked while I was in college, I was taking Spanish courses, but I also worked in a kitchen, and I was the only white person in the kitchen. And you learn Spanish pretty fast.
Oh, I bet.
When it's all that's spoken,
the bad
or
words
you don't
first.
know what's going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
and all the bad stuff.
All the bad
too,
words.
for sure. 5 years in jail or 10 years in a coma?
Oh. I think it would be a little more selfish to say 10 years in a coma. I think that would be easier.
Yeah, way easier.
But for my family and stuff, I'd probably have to say 5 years in jail.
Yeah.
Save them the other 5 years.
Well, here's the thing: if you're in jail, yeah, you're gonna have that label, a ex-con or whatever. But you can better yourself.
Yeah.
You can get degrees in jail. You can lift weights.
I'm still doing, I could live for 5 years.
You know what's going on with the people in your life. If you're in a coma, you atrophy. It would not be. It wouldn't. I don't think it would be good to wake up after 10 years. No.
Yeah, I'd probably say jail then.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. What about the the team's like chemistry? How is it?
I
in your
think
eyes?
this is like one of the closest teams I think I've been on for sure.
Yeah.
And I've been on just 2 different previous college teams, but I feel like everybody gets along. Everybody, respects each other. Everybody kind of bought into their roles. It feels like, even though we've only played 2 games technically, I feel like everybody kind of knows their role already. Everybody's willing to do what they can to help win. And I think that just builds a lot of just camaraderie, great team spirit, and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Team dynamic and chemistry is so important, especially at the college level. If you don't have it, this is college number 3. If you don't have that, you're missing a huge chunk of what you need to be successful.
Yeah.
What about what's the if I were to come into the locker room, right? What's the one thing that everybody's saying to keep everybody up and motivated? Like how are you guys doing that?
Like actual words? What are we saying?
No, I mean, or just like the goal or the process, or it can be actual words if you want. Yeah.
I just feel like personally, when I walk in the locker room, everybody says what's up to you. Everybody maybe cracks a joke with you.
Good, yeah.
Ask you how you're going. That kind of gets you like, maybe you had a boring class. You haven't talked to anybody yet that day. You see your teammates, they crack a joke, say what's up. It gets you kind of just awakened a little.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that alone, when everybody's doing that, all 15 guys, everybody's, happy to be there.
Yeah.
Gets everybody going.
Yeah, it's important. And
say
that falls right back onto the good culture thing,
Yeah.
It's super, locker room culture is super important. What about if you had to give up one or the other? No shower for a month? Or no internet for a month?
No internet.
You could make it a month without
No internet for sure. I mean, being on a mission, I didn't have internet for
Right.
a lot of months, so it definitely would be hard, but I can't. I like to shower.
It would be really foul.
Yeah, I especially living with another person.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have to shower.
I get it.
For sure.
All right, so we'll get you this last question and then we'll get you out of here. I know you've only been here for 2 months, but let's just base it off of what you know right now. I'm a senior in high school. I'm trying to find somewhere to play college basketball. Why should I come play with you guys at EOU?
I would use my experience for sure to tell you that. For me, the number one thing that brought me to Eastern was the culture that I saw when I came on my visit. Coming from a previous school that I feel like was lacking that a little bit. Eastern was a place that I felt like I could belong, but also, get along with everybody, and everybody was going to be there for you. So I feel like as a senior in high school, coming in, you want somewhere that you feel like you can fit in right away, but also learn and grow. That the seniors, juniors, people ahead of you that are older will, actually help you, will actually lead you, teach you things. So I think that's what we have here at Eastern.
I like that. Eastern Oregon, he's EOU men's basketball's TJ Doman. I'm Dodgy. TJ, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me.